back to Action Fan and welcome back to this special edition of Off the Shelf. Today is the day that we are celebrating the 80th anniversary of VE Day, the day when Nazi Germany officially surrendered in Europe. I am personally taking the time to remember all of the fallen and everybody that took part and suffered through World War II. Right, so obviously I can't have a minute silence on video, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to have 10 seconds of silence and then we will continue with my video. Right, without further ado, let's get on over to the... No, actually today we're not going to go over to the shelf, we're going to go over to the display area over there where my Grenadier Guards are. So come with me and we'll go and have a look. Today I think we're going to look at this guy, the lifeguard. Come on mate, let's get you over to the table. Right, here he is at the table. He's obviously in a display box. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll take him out of the display box and we can see him a bit clearer. Right, okay, straight off the bat, getting him out of the box, I had some problems with the plumage at the top of his helmet. There's a small piece that slides up and down to hold the plumage into place, and it kept popping down because the plumage had been bent over so badly. And I've had to put a small clear elastic band here. I'll show you a quick clip of that. Hopefully it will fall eventually and it'll start to hang down a bit better. So it has to be said that I've never ever looked close at these guys. Now I do intend to get a few of these because they look pretty sharp. If you'd have watched one of my videos, you've seen I have actually got a horse rim, and we'll get that out and put that over here in a minute and we'll display him with the horse. But for now, let's talk about him. Right, I brought this from North Weald and I brought this from a couple of guys who deal in Action Men, and they had loads of them in the boxes, in the display boxes. Really nice. I think I bought a couple off them. Now, bear in mind, this was 2 shows ago. It was my first ever North Weald show, maybe roughly a year and a half ago, something like that. And he stayed over there because I wanted to experience looking at him with you guys. I believe he's the original Action Man looking at the head. I'm not going to undress him. I'm happy enough with him like that. Now, the uniform looks too new not to be 40th. It could have been kept in mint condition. It goes around the back. So I'm guessing he's 40th. You know better than me, please let me know. But the Action Man himself looks like an original. Right, so first off is my book. Now, for once, my book has got a lot about this guy. So let's do some reading. Right, he's the lifeguard and he came on a quartermaster card, I believe, according to this book. And the list of things that came with it are the helmet, tunic, breeches, gauntlets, jackboots, spurs, belt, cartouche, belt and box, sword and scabbard. Separate equipment card came with the breastplate. This is the first cavalry uniform released in the Action Man range, and it's extremely accurate in its details. Special features are the breastplate. Now, let's read about the breastplate, but that didn't come with the set. This came on a separate card. On the front of the breastplate are 2 pins holding the golden plastic front clasps in place. These clips are heat sealed onto the gold coloured ribbon. The waist is a thin white polyurethane belt with a small square plastic buckle, which is fastened to 2 pins on the rear of the breastplate. The rear clasp for the breastplate straps fit into 2 holes in the rear plate. Anyway, that's quite complicated, but I'll show you the pictures so you can see what I'm saying. Cartouche bag, tunic and breeches. The wide cortege belt fastens to the box through the 2 brass rings and features an edging strap and a square golden buckle. The black box itself is made of polyurethane with a square gold regimental badge fastened to the flap with 2 folded spikes. It also has a scarlet flask cord on the cartouche belt. Right, you can see that there, nice scarlet belt. The figure also has an intricately moulded sword belt buckle, which was common to both the lifeguards and the Blues and Royals sets. Right, this is all a bit complicated for me. Needless to say that this uniform is very in-depth, and he has lots of bits and pieces to make up this uniform. Straps and buckles and everything holding all these pieces together. And he looks fantastic. A little bit of shame that his elastic is stretched, but I can do something about that. So, although I'm reading all of this, I don't necessarily understand all of it. And hopefully it doesn't bore you too much. But it's generally trying to say a lot of detail goes into this uniform. Right, the tunic itself. The scarlet tunic has navy pipings on the seams. A blue and gold fabric standing collar, which I'll show you close-ups of. Right, as well as the blue collar with the gold piping. Also on the tail of the jacket, he has 3 blue embroidered tail facings with golden spike buttons. And you can just make out the golden buttons and the 3 blue stripes. And the epaulets here are made of a blue fabric with gold edging and are held in place by a golden spike brass button at the top. Right, move on to his breeches. The white ribbed nylon breeches have a white 4-cord elastic brace and ankle loops. Obviously, I'm not going to take his boots off to show you that, but maybe I can get you a picture. If not, trust me, they are there at the bottom to keep them down while you put the boots on. Right, let's move on to his helmet. The helmet is made of 5 components, plus a white nylon plume. The main plastic helmet piece is chromed with a moulded oak leaf and garter star detail sprayed in gold. There are circular clips which hold the gold ribbon chin strap in place. At the top of the centre spike is a moulded ring through which the plume is threaded. The large round pommel was glued on to keep the plume in place. Mine is no longer glued, it's actually loose, so I might put a bit of glue on that. Right, a little bit of trivia about the helmet. The Austrian or Albert helmet was introduced during the reign of Queen Victoria, so I didn't know that. Right, jack boots. The black knee-length jack boots are moulded from a single piece of polyurethane, topped with a pointed outer knee guard and a smaller rounded inner one. You just make out they're slightly rounded on the inner and pointed on the outer. Right, so I have no idea really how realistic these are. Obviously, I've seen these guys in London. There's a little bit more info here. Charles II raised the lifeguards in 1660 after the restoration, and this set depicts the modern dress uniform of the regiment, as seen on parade in Whitehall and at royal occasions. The basis of the uniform dates back to 1843, when the household cavalry first started to wear the plume dress helmet. The basic Action Man lifeguard set did not feature the chrome plastic breastplate. This was only available on a separate equipment card, unless the dress figure was bought in its distinctive triangular Union Jack pattern box. Right, so you guys will probably know more about that than me. On the next page, incidentally, is the Blues and Royals, which I think is actually called the Horse Guards. I haven't actually got this one yet. Right, I've read from my book. We've learned a lot about this guy. I normally at this point move on to Action Man HQ on the internet, but this video is running a little bit long, so we're going to make this episode 1 and an episode 2. But there he is in all his glory. Once again, just before I go, don't forget, take the time to remember it's VE Day, the 80th anniversary of victory in Europe. Thanks for watching. Please come back and join me in the next episode where we continue looking at this guy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next exciting episode.